Hey, photo sharing discussion number 223, February, it is 18th, the day before President's Day, holiday here in the States. So we are moving through February, like 50 days into the year already. It's kind of crazy. We're like 1/7 of the way through the year already. Doesn't seem like it, but it is too.
Flying by.
Yeah, yep. So Wes is down there in Florida, where it's warming up a little bit. You guys, pretty warm weather here last week. It was warm up here.
It's been in the 80s, lower 80s. So
wow,
it's getting pretty warm.
Yeah, that's a little warmer than normal for you guys. For this time of year. Yeah.
Usually not till March. Sometime we usually get that. So
yeah, and ours is about like March temperatures too. We've been in the 70s and kind of humid. So. Actually get some yard work done here, so I guess that's a good thing. There's some bushes that needed to get a haircut today, so I gave it to them. But yeah, I'm sure we're kind of coming into the stormy season here, so we got basically really 2 months until about early May or so. This is kind of the severe weather season for us down here in the south. They call it Dixie Alley. To get all the tornadoes that come through. Well, you guys get some tornadoes.
Yeah, occasionally.
Yeah, not as much as we get here in northern Georgia and Alabama.
Yeah, probably not.
And it's weird because before we moved down here, I never really thought about tornadoes coming through here. Because you just maybe you just didn't hear about it or whatever. But the first year we were down here, like, holy crap, we got tornado, our tornado sound going off. We've been down here 2 months and. The guy on the TV is like, get in the basement. Here comes a tornado. I'm like, what? This isn't Kansas. What's going on here? But we're coming into this severe weather season. So hopefully we avoid anything major this year. But this next couple of months are usually if something bad's going to happen weather-wise here in the south. It tends to happen now. So you're been. Busy with work and getting ready. Are you going to do anything over spring break that's coming up? You get the week off. Are you taking that?
No, we still work that week, but I'm taking a couple weeks after that is my birthday, so I'm taking that week off.
You going anywhere? Or are you just going to stay around?
Yeah, I might just do some day trips and try to do some extra photography that I wouldn't normally be doing, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's good. I think that's what we're going to do this year for the most part. I don't know if we're going to travel too much. We might take a short trip in May or June, but other than that, I think we're going to try to do like long weekends. A few days here, a few days there, and
that's what I like doing.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice because you can get away and go someplace that's not too far away, get a couple days away without spending a bunch of money on a trip. And one of those is that state park down near Columbus. What is the name of that? I've got to take a look.
Providence Canyon.
Providence Canyon. Yes, that is on the list. And I think it'd be nice to get down there before summer. So maybe like April, something like that. I'm sure the weather will be pretty good by then. And and that's not that far away. It's only a few hours away for us. I mean, if it's a little south of Columbus. So, and we've driven through. No, I don't even know if we've even driven through Columbus. And I hear it's a nice town, fun little town.
Yeah. Looks like it. I haven't been in a long time, but I saw when we were at the park, there was a advertisement for a brewery there.
Okay.
So
yeah, I guess they have they have several breweries in Columbus, and they've got their version of a river walk along the Chattahoochee down there. Kind of a miniaturized version of San Antonio, I guess, or whatever. But it looks like that actually might be a fun place to go because is it Georgia State that's there? It's a college town. One of the universities is there, so. Anytime we get a university town, it's usually got a pretty good vibe to it, and that might be fun. But yeah, I think Pam and I were just talking about that a couple days ago. I was like, what are we going to do this spring? Because as far as a trip, and that might be a good one. Take it 3 or 4 days and go down like on a Wednesday night and come back on a Monday or something like that. Get 4 days or something down there. So
yeah,
it's kind of in the books. And then I think. We might do. I'd like to take I think anywhere we go this year, we're going to drive. So I'll be able to take the large format camera with me pretty much anywhere. But I think we're going to try to get out to Nashville. We got some friends friends in Chicago that have been talking about wanting to go to Nashville for a few days. And I'm like, hey, if you guys want to drive the 8 hours down from Chicago, we'll drive the 4 hours to Nashville.
Yeah, not that bad of a drive at all.
No, that's actually a really nice drive, and that might be a fun. There's lots of obviously the music scene's great there and all that stuff, but there's a lot of neat historical stuff there too. So that might be kind of fun, and going back in the mountains, going through Tennessee and that type of thing is kind of scenic as well. So do that. And I don't know if we're going to go. I'd like to go out west this year, but I just don't know if we're going to be able to swing it. But try to do a couple more photography related trips this year is kind of the goal, or more, not photography, only photography, but a little bit more emphasis on doing some photography. And we can do that if we drive. It just seems a lot easier when you're in your own vehicle. You kind of control versus flying somewhere and running around with friends or family or whatever. So it's just a little easier to do it when you got the vehicle. So that's hopefully what we're going to be able to do. You going in any other plans for travel this year? You guys going anywhere, doing anything?
No, nothing that I can think of. I don't know.
Probably go over to St. Augustine for 4th of July again.
Yeah, maybe depending on, I don't know when the 4th of July is this year. It's a Wednesday.
Ooh, middle of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah. That kind of makes it tough, doesn't it?
Yeah,
you only get the day off
now, and
you only get the day off that day off. So you got to, if you want to make something out of it, you've got to burn a day on either end probably to make it work. But not Dennis. Dennis is it's a whole week of Sundays for Dennis every week. So
yep, it's fine. This whole 4th of July thing, we celebrate here as well,
I'm sure you do.
Yes, I'm sure you do.
Yeah, we're celebrating the fact that we haven't got to pay for all you lot now.
Yeah, that's true. We broke away, saved you a bunch of money.
Yeah, we got half of Europe moving in here, so
yeah,
this island's crowded.
Yeah. Well, good. So how you been? Good week, Dennis?
Yeah, been fine.
Good. Did the weather break for you there?
Yeah, we've had the last couple of days. It's been sunshine.
Yeah, I'm assuming that the pictures you posted in the group are within the last couple of days, and it looks like there's actually a yellow orb in the sky here.
Yeah. I've been out on my boat today on the sea, so
okay,
quite calm and sunny. Yeah.
Wow. Where did you actually go out into the North Sea or just into the?
I'm in a river called the River Crouch. It just goes about 10 miles upriver from the sea. But it's salt water. It's tidal.
Okay. All right. So do you fish, or do you just go out in the boat?
Well, we used to fish, but the EU banned it now.
Yeah. You're not allowed to fish?
No, the people in Europe decided that people who fish with rod and line are taking too many fish. Yeah. So now we're allowed to catch bass.
Okay.
In July, we're not allowed to catch any from July till July, and then when you go out on a boat, you're allowed one fish. You're allowed to catch one fish per fisherman per trip.
That's that's not even worth it then.
Yeah, and then of course, if you was a commercial fisherman with a trawler, you're allowed to catch 1 ton of bass a day.
Oh, 1 ton. Okay.
Yeah, and there's a lot of fish in a ton.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like 1,000 fish, basically. Yeah.
The European, they can do that every day, but we're allowed 1 fish because obviously people will go fishing for pleasure with rod and line. They're just taking too many.
Yeah, they're destroying the fishery.
They are, yeah. And we get French trawlers catching them by the ton. There's no fish left. When you go out now, it's just like in the 70s and 80s, the river used to be full of eels and flatfish and that. Now you rarely catch any. There's nothing left.
Okay, yeah, they pretty much destroyed.
I'm only glad that the European Parliament is looking after our interests for us. I can't wait for the day when we leave.
Yeah. When is the actual break going to happen? they're negotiating it now, aren't they?
They got another year. I think it's next March. Is the leaving day. Yeah.
Okay. Huh. So you got another year to hash things out and come up with the final resolution, I guess, on how it's going to happen.
Trouble is, Mark, Britain's only one vote in a European Parliament. You've got all the other countries of Europe. So what we want doesn't matter anymore. So you can't vote these people out. The ones who make the decision weren't voted for by the people of this country.
Yeah. So you're pretty much just whatever the terms of surrender are by the other party is what you're going to have to accept, I guess.
Yeah.
With a couple small concessions to make it seem like they're being charitable.
Yeah, and of course they want us to, even when we leave, to allow European citizens to come and live here, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, it was kind of the part of the reason that people voted for it. Yeah,
it'd be like Donald Trump. It'd be like the Mexican government making a law saying that all Mexican citizens can come and live in the United States and work there. And that's fine. And if they change any laws, you've got to abide by them.
Yeah.
So that's never going to happen.
Yeah, little different system over there than we have here. Yeah. Which is kind of goes back to the whole 4th of July thing, I think.
Yeah. All we're doing is we're having our 4th of July next March.
Yeah, that's true.
We're getting rid of the dictators in Europe now.
Yes, it'll be your not Bastille Day. It'll be Liberation Day. Liberation Day.
Well, we've got a guy, Nigel Farage is sort of friends with Trump.
He looks like Trump. He's the guy that looks like Trump, isn't he? No, that's the Boris guy. That was the old mayor of London.
Boris Johnson. Yeah, he's just a crazy eccentric, isn't he? He talks frightfully well. Very, very English.
Yes, he does. So what's up with Nigel? What's he doing?
Well, Nigel's a European Parliament. He's an MP in the European Parliament.
Okay.
And when you watch what he says to them on YouTube and that, especially about the fishing, because he was a fisherman, and he was basically saying the people of Britain have woken up, and we just can't wait to leave this organisation because and he was going on about, you're crazy. People who fish with a rod and line do not take all the fish stock. Just Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I report on it a little bit here, but after the shock or the big surprise of everybody voting to leave, that kind of died down. They mention it every once in a while, but you really don't get any. I think it was the open door policy which got the vote to leave. Because I think when we joined the European market, it was meant to be beneficial for each side. It's for trade,
Yeah.
We didn't vote to give up our sovereignty and have laws imposed upon us by unelected people in Europe.
Yeah.
It's turned into the United States of Europe now, and we don't want to be part of it.
Yeah. It's been what, about 30 years since the euro?
Yeah. We never
late 80s.
We never joined the euro, did we? We've kept the British pound. So.
Yeah. But as far as when they kind of melded everything together, wasn't that like 88, 87, 88, 89, something like that, about 30 years ago?
Value-added tax, like your sales tax and all that, it's all imposed. So.
Yeah. Well, good luck to you. You've got another year to figure it out. So.
Yeah, I don't care because I've finished work now. It's just, I do feel sorry for the people who, losing their jobs because there was cheap labour coming in. Yeah.
It's an issue no matter which side of the aisle you're on, I guess. I mean, it's
the only comparison I can say is like you let all the Mexican cheap labour come into the United States and work for half the wages that you guys work for. It's going to cause a bit of an upset.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of part of the argument, now with the immigration is, people that are here illegally are getting, paid under the table. They make less, but they're doing, people say, oh, they're doing jobs that people don't want to do. And, it goes back and forth and back and forth. So
getting very difficult in this country to pay people cash.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've really tightened up now. As an employer, I get letters from the Revenue and Customs telling it's now my responsibility that if I employ anybody, that I've got to check they've got a right to work in this country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
if I don't do it, I'll get fined £10,000. So.
Oh yeah, no, we've got that here as well. It's just a matter of how they enforce it or not. But yeah, I mean that's.
Apart from doing my job, I'm now an immigration officer.
Congratulations on your promotion.
Yeah, I'm supposed to take their passport numbers and pass it to the revenue, and if I don't do that and they turn out to be illegals, then it's all down to me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, isn't it? Well, that's the way government is in a lot of cases. It's they issue something and then it falls to the individual. The little people. To those are the ones that end up getting hurt. Basically, all the individuals, all the little minions out there. That are,
the latest one, Mark, is if I rent a property to someone, it's my responsibility to make sure that they got a right to be in this country. Otherwise, I could not rent them an apartment or a house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now I'm also big brother looking over their shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll rent your house. Show me your passport.
Yeah. It used to be just pay the rent on time and we're good. Yeah, exactly. Politics. It is what it is, I guess.
I think it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah. That seems to be the way things
keep getting worse.
Yeah. Yes, maybe there is no better.
It
just keeps getting worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Australian Prime Minister's been on our news this week because she's turned around to everyone in all the immigrants in Australia. And said, you asked to come to this country and we let you come into this country. So it's up to you to learn our ways. We do not have to learn your ways. If you don't like it, off.
Yeah.
And now they're saying, we want a prime minister like Australia's got.
Yeah. That's a big argument here. The part of the immigration thing is, can you force immigrants to assimilate to the U.S. or do you just not require that? It's all. Yeah,
well, they say like you asked to come here, and we've allowed you to come here. It's not for us to change; it's for you to change. And if you don't like it, where the door is.
Yeah. It's interesting, and it's not really. It's a new. There's always been immigration issues, but I think it's just more something that has to be dealt with or people are wanting to deal with because of it's a global. Everything is so interconnected now that it just gets moved to the forefront on that. You need. I think every country needs a constant flow of new people coming in to. To kind of keep things vibrant and that type of thing. But what's the what are the limits? On one end or the other. How many people? How many do you let in from here or there? Or what are the requirements that you place on them? And how has that changed over time? Yeah, it's
getting very strict now, Mark. Because when I was in Europe, when you go through the airports, they scan your passport, electronic scan on your passport now. But they also take a picture of you.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get to the airport, the other end, you go through arrivals. You put your passport in, and they've already got your picture. They've already got your picture sent there to make sure you're the same person entering their country that left this one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, the technology is incredible. Well, this is how we tie it back to photography here. There's so many cameras everywhere, no matter where you go.
Yeah.
You're being photographed.
And I've actually put loads of them in my time.
Yeah, you were part of the problem installing all those cameras.
Yeah. If you get a ticket for speeding, I'm the guy who put the camera in.
Camera courtesy of Dennis.
Yeah.
Now, did you negotiate in as part of your deal? Did you get a cut of every ticket that gets issued?
we got speed cameras in this country, which I think one of them on the M4 motorway has generated more than £1 million in fines. It was the first camera to get to $1 million.
Okay. So yeah, and the companies here in the U.S., companies that install the cameras, they do it the way they got them installed was they would go to them and go to the towns or townships or police departments and say, we're not going to charge you anything for this, but we get a 30% cut of everything that gets generated. That's how they get paid.
Right.
And so did they do that in the UK? Was that part of the incentive?
I don't think so. I think the money goes to the government and you never see it again.
Okay, yeah, because that's the big thing here is, that the companies that are installing or selling the cameras, speeding cameras and stuff, are getting, obviously making tons and tons of money because they're getting a huge cut of the revenue.
Yeah, they're very popular. They're very popular here. What they do is they get a car tire or a lorry tire and just put it over the camera box and then fill it up with petrol and set fire to it. Yeah. But the one I see on YouTube, the American cameras, they seem to have lots of bullet holes in them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Everything here gets bullet holes eventually.
They were showing. It looked like it was peppered by an automatic rifle.
Yeah, and you get the good old boys in their pickup trucks and driving around late at night after having a few Budweisers, and
and obviously the guy who got the speeding fine for his door, and he's taking revenge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're I don't know. It's and they serve. They were well intentioned when they started, but now I think it's just more of a revenue generating than anything else. But yeah, that's usually what happens. So
I drove down where Wes is to Clearwater on I-4,
mm-hmm.
and a guy passed me in a pickup truck, and he had 3 rifles in the back window on a rack.
Mm-hmm.
We don't see that in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that's the big well, obviously with the mass shooting and everything we had, but that's the big argument. Once again, we have the Second Amendment. No other country has a Second Amendment. So
we had a guy years ago shoot a load of guys with a Kalashnikov,
mm-hmm.
and that changed our laws. You can't have a rifle now. You can't have a handgun. You can have a shotgun with a police license, but you can't keep any of those kind of weapons. A gun club you can, but you're not allowed to take them home. They have to stay on the premises.
Yeah. Well, that's the biggest difference. I mean, the shooting here, obviously the tragedy and everything that came around with that is, brings up the argument of how do you do what you can reasonably to prevent that. And people are like, well, you just got to do this and do that. And I was like, well, yeah, but we have the Second Amendment in the Constitution, which is
the right
different. The only country, I think one of the only country in the world that has this written into the Constitution.
Yeah, I think it's pretty strange because I went one of your shopping malls in Florida,
mm-hmm.
and they had handguns and great big hunting knives that you could buy. I said, yeah, get them through customs when you get back to the UK.
Yep. It's it is unique among countries. It's written into the Constitution, and that's the big argument now. Do you interpret literally as it was written, or do you realize that things are a lot different now than they were 250 years ago, and make modifications, and then you get onto all the it's just a rabbit hole of I
don't know how you're ever going to solve it, Mark, because some Americans are really against losing the rights to have a gun, and
well, I
think it's fine.
Yeah, it's a big thing, and you hear people in other countries say, well, we did this, how come you can't do it in the U.S.? It's like, well, because we have written into the Constitution, so you've got to amend the Constitution, which is what, 2/3 of the states, Wes? Is that what it takes?
Yeah.
To amend it? Yeah, you have to call a constitutional convention, and then you got to get 2/3 of the states.
You got 50 states. So
you've got to get 34 states out of the 50 to agree to amend the Constitution, to repeal an amendment or add an amendment to the Constitution. So yeah, I mean, it could be done, but it's not as easy as just a politician getting in office and saying, "Well, I don't want it anymore. I'm going to change it."
Do we get a vote as well? Because they said this country is now the 51st state of America. So.
No, that was what 1776 and 1812 were all about. So sorry. Nice try.
So, anyway, how's it been since we left? Has it been okay? Are you doing all right?
It's been pretty good. The last 250 years haven't been too bad, really. So. All right. So back to photography. You guys, have you done any? Did you do any photography last week, Wes? I don't think.
Yeah.
When you posted one image. Yeah.
A couple of days I did. Yeah. Well, one day I did a couple of different things.
Okay. Okay. Good. Good. How about you, Dennis? You get out? Other than in your backyard in the sun, did you get out?
A few.
Okay, good. I did 0 again. Hopefully here in the next couple of weeks, get out. Any equipment purchases? Anything new? New cameras, Wes? We can always count on you to have a new photography equipment coming in.
Yeah, not this week.
Nothing?
Oh. Nothing.
No. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think I was telling you last week, Wes, I got the taxes are going to be okay for me. I'm not going to owe as much as I'm getting a little bit back, which is good. So I think I might actually get that lens here in probably April.
You'll have to tell us how you do that, Mark, because it's really rare you get anything back here.
Well, I still pay. I just don't. I haven't paid. I'm still paying a lot of taxes. I haven't underpaid, so I have to write a check to make up the difference. I've overpaid a little bit and get some back.
Yeah, it just means you paid too much and you've given the government a free loan.
Yeah, and people say, I didn't pay any taxes. I got a refund. Well, no.
No, you didn't.
You gave the government a free loan for 15 months. And then
it's people like you keeping the country on its feet.
Yeah. Well,
free loans to the government.
Interest-free loan to the government. I mean, it's all that money that comes back, people get back in refunds is the government's got to use it for, 12 to 15 months interest-free. So,
well, our banks over here, Mark, they're paying, they pay interest rates of around 0.5% or 1%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where inflation's running about 3.5. So they're all losing accounts.
Yeah.
It's the same here.
On our television, there's companies advertising. If you want a short-term loan, we'll lend you a few £100 for a few weeks, and it's only 4,950% interest.
Oh yeah. Payday loans. They've got that here too. We have payday loans. We have title loans, where you can sell the title to your car. You can pawn that off, and that ends up being like 5,000% interest over the course of the year if you don't do it. But
it's legal.
Yeah, it is. It is legal, although they're trying to tighten that up a little bit here. With some states have laws that have limited, the amount of interest that can be charged, and other states haven't.
Yeah, I think our government's just done that. They said that you can't pay back more in interest than you borrowed in the first place.
Yeah. Okay. So 100% interest rate, basically. Yeah.
I see a lot less of those places around here now, so I think they've been cracking down on them some.
Yeah. I think Florida, I think they probably put a law in place that made it a lot harder to operate those kind of loans. Payday loans.
You can have that lens now,
Yeah.
It cost you 3 or 4 times more.
That's what I was just going to say. I'm not going to the payday loan store to get the money to buy my lens. I'm waiting till Uncle Sam puts some money back in my checking account. But my money back in, not giving me money, giving me my money.
They never give you anything. They might give you a little bit back of what you paid there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm still paying a lot, but I'm getting back a little bit of what I paid. Yeah. So
I never minded paying tax because it meant at least you was earning money.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, if you're not paying tax, then you're not earning money. So it's I get that a lot of times with clients. They'll say, "Well, I don't want to sell that investment because I'll have to pay tax." And I'm like, well, wait a minute. If you need the money and you're paying tax, that means you made money. So, it's just kind of the way it works.
The annoying thing here, Mark, is when you get to a certain threshold in this country, your tax doubles. You're allowed about 45 grand. After that, you pay double tax on every pound.
Yeah. It's similar types of things here. Although they're not quite as steep as you guys, but taxes are. Government is the only entity that doesn't really produce anything. You know, you think about that. They take in all the money, but they really don't produce anything. They just take the money from other people basically at the point of a gun and then use it. So.
Yeah, yeah. It's they do it here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I think I will actually get that wide, probably that 90mm lens. I'm going to start searching eBay listings here probably in the next week or so.
For what camera, Mark?
For the 4x5. Yeah, for the 4x5.
Oh, the 4x5. You want a 90mm?
Yeah, I've got the 135. I'm gonna get the 90mm, and I think it's gonna be there's a nice Nikkor one that's a 5.6. So yeah, I'm looking at that, and then there's the not the Rokinon. What is it?
Snyder?
Yeah, Snyder, I think. Yeah, one of those. It's a 5.6 or a 4.
Yeah, I've been looking for one for a long time at 90, but they seem to be 8s, f8s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can get the 8 for pretty cheap. Yeah, you can get the 8 for a couple $100, but a 5.6 will probably run you $300 to $500, and then you can get a 4 for. Yeah, a few 4s are going to be like $500 or $600 typically.
Yeah, it's a lot of money for occasional use. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'd get a 5.6 or maybe even an 8. But if I could find a nice 5.6, I would take that. But so I'm going to start. I've got the searches pegged on eBay, so I'm going to start.
Well, I've been using my large format this week. I was playing with it on the new tripod, and I've been using the 210. The Cineron I've got on there, and it's quite a nice lens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be the next one for me would be to get. I've got a 135, so I'd probably get. Yeah, the 210 would probably be a good one to get. Yeah,
it's 70mm in 35 speak, isn't it? So, it's a good portrait lens, probably.
yeah, or close-up detail, landscape type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll probably be on the list for later on this year. But I want to get the wide angle. I want to get the 90mm first. So I'll hopefully get that in March or April is my goal.
Yeah. So I took a couple of black and white photos with the 4x5 just to test.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought on eBay one of these timers.
Okay.
Where you put your cable release in. I screw it in and you set it. It's clockwork, and it just like. So you can go stand in front of the camera to be in the picture.
Okay.
And I did it, and I heard it click, and I went back and I put the dark slide back in, and I took the whole thing out, and then I checked the lens, and the lens hadn't triggered.
Oh.
It was only. But by then, Mark, I'm standing with a 4x5 film holder in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd taken one side already. So I decided that I'll take a chance and put it back in.
Yeah.
I'm either going to get a double exposure on one side and nothing on one.
Yeah. Well, that'd be interesting. It might be an artistic portrait.
Yeah, I think I'll knock up some Caffenol and do a bit of coffee on it. Just have a play.
Yeah, well, that would actually be kind of interesting to see. Yeah, that's one thing I do want to do. I do want to definitely do the Caffenol. I got to do some more black and white, but that is if I can get out with the camera. And I still got a couple holders that I loaded when I went up to the mountains a few months ago, and I still got a couple sheets of film in there that I have to use. So I'll take those.
Five holders loaded with positive.
Oh, okay.
So as soon as the weather turns like nice enough, I might maybe like do a few portraits and just have a play. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's good. Yeah, I've got to get through that film. I don't feel real comfortable leaving them in the holders. I'd rather have them in the box in the fridge.
That should be all right.
Yeah, they probably are. But I feel better with them being in the double covered box in the refrigerator than sitting in the holders on the shelf. So
do they still get affected by cosmic radiation?
I guess they would.
Fridge.
They do, but yet it's not as the effect is reduced quite a bit, I guess. Yeah.
On open boxes of 4x5 film, if it's really old, they reckon it's going to be no good because the cosmic radiation passing through.
Yeah, you can't really stop that, I guess, unless you were in a real heavy lead, lead-filled room.
You keep them in a lead safe.
Yeah, like a thick lead safe, because that's the cosmic rays go through everything. I mean, so.
What does Wes do down in Florida there when your weather's so hot? And Joe as well. Mind you, don't use film, does he?
No.
Mine stays in the fridge until I'm ready to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hot and humid. I think that humidity affects the film too. Well, that's what central air conditioning's for.
Yeah.
Never gets warmer than 78 degrees in the summer.
Right.
And the humidity stays around 55%, probably 50 to 55%. So that's the
swim to work, do you?
Yeah, that's the secret. But yeah, I mean, you definitely want to keep the film in the fridge as long as you can before you use it, because anytime it's just sitting out, I mean, it's just it's not that big a deal, but it degrades faster in your camera sitting in a shelf in an air-conditioned house than it does in a box in the refrigerator.
Do you get any problems with your digital cameras with the heat?
I haven't had much other than just condensation from going from air conditioning to outside.
All right, yeah, so it all steams up, yeah.
Now, I did have if the setting when we went up for the eclipse, it was a real bright, it was a summer, it was August, so it was hot, and it was sunny for most of the time, and there were people that had set their digital cameras up on the on their tripod, and they were tracking the sun and that type of thing. And it didn't happen to me, but there were other people around me whose cameras got too hot, just sitting in the sun, and basically overheated. They couldn't. They had to take the camera down and put it in the shade or whatever for half an hour, and let it cool down before they could use it again. It just overheated just from the sun.
Yeah, processors don't like getting hot.
No. And a black camera sitting on a tripod on a 85-degree day with the sun, midday sun beating down on it. Yeah, that's gonna overheat them. But it didn't happen to me. But there were some people around me that it did, and they're like, "How come it's not taking it? It might be overheated." And they touch the camera and be like, hot. And
I see the picture of the guy who melted out the shutter.
Oh,
Bips, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's an issue. It's if you're out in the sun, you definitely want to keep it covered, because the cameras will just soak up. They just soak up the heat very quickly, because most cameras they're metal or they're black plastic, and that just sucks up the.
That must have got hot enough to melt the shutter blades.
It's got to be couple hundred degrees, right? Are the shutter blades? They were plastic shutter blades. Obviously, they weren't metal.
Yeah, like Teflon coated or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, Teflon coated plastic or whatever, and just get to a few hundred degrees and whoop. Yeah, you wouldn't think, but it's kind of the same thing as leaving in a hot car in the summer. With windows rolled up and the sun beating down, the interior of the car gets pretty hot. So
it's gonna be twice as bad if you rented the lens.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what the sun shining through the lens gets magnified, basically.
Yeah.
And makes it worse. So yeah, that's the pro tip of the day. Don't leave your camera, and it could be film camera too. I mean, you could literally melt the film.
Yeah. My Leica, it says, do not point at the sun, because you burn a hole through the shutter curtain.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but people don't think about it. It doesn't. You don't think about it, but it can definitely happen. I mean, your phones. You set your phone out if you're out and about, and your phone's sitting down on the ground or whatever, and the sun's beating on it. I mean, it overheats and it stops working. Same thing with the camera, both film and digital. So it's it's definitely not right now, but it will be in the summer here in a couple months.
Yeah, we don't suffer too much of cameras melting in this country.
No, it's not really an issue for you. Well, let's speaking of cameras melting, let's take a look at these images here because you posted a few. There we go. So this was the last one of last week, right? Yeah. Inside the Galaxy. Dennis's. So, oh, okay. Canvey Island.
Now, this one I took on Thursday.
Okay, so just a couple of days ago.
And guess where it ended up, Mark?
Where?
In Explore.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
oh,
look,
yeah,
look,
5,400 views. What the?
Cool.
Do you have like the bat phone hotline to the Explorer?
Yeah, I was really surprised. I put it on, and within a few hours, I got an invitation for Explore.
Huh.
Nice.
Oh, that's very nice. That's a nice, very nice image.
Yeah, it's a nice shot.
Yeah, very nice with the birds and the sun coming through the clouds. I mean, that's.
Yeah, I know Simmy gets those kind of faves on his pictures, but it's the first time I've ever got that amount in a few days. You know.
Mm-hmm. No, that's very nice. I like that the sun coming through the clouds. But yeah, I mean that's you've gotten on Explorer, 3 or 4 images out of the last 50 that you've posted. It's
this is the fourth one. What's gone in the Explorer? Yeah.
And how many groups do you have it in? 9 groups, huh?
Yeah, I put them in there afterwards. It was only in a couple when I put it on.
Mm-hmm. Oh, cool. Yeah, 54. I don't know. Maybe they're looking for specific cameras. I just wonder what the algorithm is to get stuff on Explorer.
Well, I did see on Google that it's a one chance in 76,000 of getting chosen.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've hit it like 3 times in the last few months. So
yeah,
you should be playing the lottery, Dennis. Come on.
Yeah, I wish.
So here we go. Red-shouldered hawk.
Wesley's got his 600 mil on again now.
Yeah, I love that lens. I can't help it.
You're getting your money's worth out of this, Wes.
Yeah, that's a great shot. So how far away were you from this guy?
Like maybe 15 feet. I mean, he was like super close.
Okay, that's great.
It certainly gets you the photograph that you can't do with a 50 mil.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's amazing. So a 600, which is equivalent to a 1,000 millimeter lens on a crop, and you're only 15 feet away to begin with. So that kind of gives you an idea how much lens you really need to get anything of wildlife at any distance.
That's a good bit of detail on there, though.
Yeah. That's a lot of detail.
Considering 1,000 millimeter lens, Wes.
But no, the detail around the eye and the beak and the individual feathers.
Yeah. I was looking at getting a telephoto for the Sony. Have you seen the price of them?
Oh yeah, they're probably very, very pricey.
It's like 1,500, 2,000. Very expensive.
Yeah, well, that's where having a crop sensor is nice. I mean, you still have a 600 millimeter lens, but I mean, it ends up being 1,000 with the crop factor. But yeah, that's it. So how many shots of this did you take, Wes? How many were you able to get before?
I probably have 50 or so. I have several more that I want to edit, but this was just the favorite of that pick to go ahead and post.
This is really nice. He's got nice. You got the colors. You got the color of his beak there. That real dark blue kind of matches the eye. Yeah, you can actually see the the variation in the retina of the eye. That's great. Individual hairs here. Yeah. So anybody that's going out to photograph wildlife with their 50 millimeter lens, not going to work.
Nope.
That's a great shot.
Thank you.
And we got Spidey Doo. Spider-Web covered in one of Sweetwater wetlands. Okay, so this was. It looks like hanging on to one of the shelters there. the structures?
Yeah, the main one there when you first get into the park, the big one. We went out for an early morning photo walk kind of thing, and with the local photo club, and it was really foggy, so looking for other things to shoot.
Yeah, it's neat. The individual dew droplets on this spiderweb. That's nice. And black and white is a perfect treatment for that.
Yeah.
It's well done. I like that. And this was with the
So
35 millimeter. Okay.
18 to 35 that I've been playing around with.
And you like that lens?
I don't know. It's kind of a weird lens. It's not a real good walk around lens, but it's kind of takes the place of 3 primes. Is the best way to think of it.
Yeah.
But it's a good video lens. I've been using it on all my videos, and I like how they turn out. So
okay, so it's more probably great at video, okay for still.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah.
It's just it's not real good for walk around. It doesn't have enough reach, really.
Yeah. So you're basically getting like a 24 to 50 with this, essentially. Yeah. Huh, that's nice. But yeah, it's nice for small little detail shots and that kind of thing. 570S. 6D with a 200 millimeter. Once again, looks like a toy car.
Right.
Yeah, that's a fun car. I've seen a couple of those around here at car shows and stuff. And nice vehicle. Wonder what it looks like. Maybe this is at like an airport or something. Looks like, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Very nice. Nice bright yellow against the background. Very nice. Hey, look at that. I've got one of those.
Yeah, this is on top of my new tripod.
Okay. Yep. There's a new ball head and.
Yeah, and I opened the car door when I came back with it, and it fell out and chipped the paint on the top.
Oh, the ball head.
Yeah, the ball head, but it doesn't really matter. It's only it's alloy in it. It's not going to.
Yeah, it's not going to do anything.
Cause any problems. Could have done without it though. It just fell out on the pavement. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
it's better the tripod than the camera.
Yeah, the nice thing about this, Mark, is that I can have that camera right up where my eyes are. The tripod I had before, it's all bending down, you know.
Okay, so you got that extra reach at
this can actually lift this camera above my head.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and this it's got like an extension rod on the top.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's nice. I mean, that gives you a lot more flexibility and comfort. As long as the scene allows it, you don't have to stoop over.
Yeah, I found stooping over with a cloth over your head, taking so long to focus and play with the camera. You end up with a backache if you're doing it all day long, you know?
Yeah. It's I have to stoop a little bit, but not too much. And yeah, it's still, after a while of doing that, it does start to hurt a little bit, you know? Yeah, that's okay. So here in the front with the okay, so you got the 210 on there.
That's the 210 Cineron on the camera, you know.
And you like that lens, the 210?
Yeah, it's a big piece of glass though, you know. I can see why people want the small lens.
Is it an f8 or a 5.6?
This is a 5.6.
5.6, okay.
This is a Cineron S.
Okay.
Which is
a coated one. Is it got?
Yeah, it's coated, but they do strange things. This is made by some other company. ENS normally is their rating, and they changed the name from Cinar to Cineron, and they're using the S, which in the other make is a really expensive lens. This is only equivalent to the N.
Okay.
But the other lens, if you buy the S in that make, It's really expensive. It's going to put you back nearly $1,000.
Okay. All right.
So if you looked on eBay and you see one of these, you go, oh, it's an S, I'll buy it. Not exactly the S you were looking for.
Yeah. So this is a few $100s as opposed to $1,000, then probably.
Yeah, I think I only paid about $250 for that when I bought it.
Okay, all right, that's pretty reasonable. But I mean, the quality. I mean, you no real complaints.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, if you buy the top one, you're going to pay like double the money for it. But obviously, it's going to be across the frame is going to be crystal clear. You know. Yeah.
That's well, it's a nice. Yeah, that's probably going to be the next one. I'll get the wide angle, and then probably a 210. I don't think a 180 would be a big enough spread between a 135 and a 180, so I'd probably go to a 210.
So I've got a 150, and I've got this 210, and a 90 was what I was going to try and pick up. But so far, no luck. You know. Yeah, I'm gonna. Like I said, I'm gonna start. I've had a search on eBay, but I haven't really paid attention to it because I didn't have the funds to do anything with it if I found something. So now that I will, now I'm going to pay more attention, because if I pay attention to it and something comes up, then I'm going to end up buying it. So that's why I haven't paid attention to it. There's loads of them in Japan because they look like bargains, but of course, as soon as they get to our customs, they stick 50% import.
Yes, ours don't. We don't pay that much. It's just shipping. I mean, I can usually get a lens from Japan for $15 shipping or something, and not really pay any extra. So it ends up being a really good deal for us. But yeah, you guys with the import tax, it ends up paying.
Yeah, so I bought stuff in America and had it shipped over, and they done me for import duty 20%, and they charged me the 20% tax on the American postage.
Never miss an opportunity to collect the tax.
And there is no tax on our postage over here. I thought, where did they get off doing this? You know, it's just money printing machine, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Yeah. And if you complain, they say, like, well, if you don't pay the tax, we'll send the parcel back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they've got you. Yeah. So this is...
this is my friend's cat this afternoon.
Oh, okay. All right. So you don't... It's not... So this isn't your cat. This is your friend's cat. Okay.
I see you were posting cats in America on your Facebook, yeah, Mark?
Yes, yep. Couple of our...
Yes, yeah, ours is delivered in boxes.
Yes, mine came in an envelope.
Yeah.
And there it goes. Established 1959. Yeah.
There's an English cat.
That's a good looking cat there. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice dark jet black with a little bit. Is that the only white he has on him, right on his nose? Yeah,
there's a few white hairs in his ears.
Okay. Yeah, he's got a few there. Yeah. Yeah. It's we're enjoying our black cats. They're fun little animals.
Yeah, we didn't put him in the box. Apparently he likes being in the box.
Oh yeah. No, it's so funny. I come in, if you get something, from Amazon or something comes in the mail or whatever, it's they're in the habit now when you walk in with a box and they just expect you're going to open the box, unpack it, and put the box down on the floor so they can play with it. And they'll get in it. It doesn't matter how big or little the box is. They've got to get into it. So it's kind of fun. But yeah, this is nice. The lighting is nice on this.
Yeah, he was sitting in the sunshine, shining through the patio doors. And I just come back with the camera, and I thought, well, I'll take a mug shot of this one.
Yeah, that's a nice shot. I like the light. Yeah, his face is well lit. Yeah,
this is on the 50mm Voigtlander.
Yeah, that's a nice portrait. Fun little animal. Okay, so here's Michael on his way to. This is on my way in Germany. So I'm assuming he's taking the bridge over. I don't know, whatever river.
Yes.
From the Netherlands to Germany, I guess. I don't know.
That was around quite a bit because of pictures he's been putting up.
Yep. No, he's kind of a cool bridge, and the black and white's nice. I like the black and white. And that. Yeah, I was watching the Olympics and all the skating that the Dutch won. I was like, are they born with skates on their feet or what? I mean, it's all the speed skating, and they just crush it. And in Norway, of course, in the cross country and biathlon, they just decimate everybody in that. It's kind of fun to watch. But yeah, that's kind of a cool shot. Nice gray sky. Hey, I know this path, Wes. I've got an image I took on this walkway down there. iPhone.
Like I said, it was very, very foggy. Normally you would see palm trees and telephone poles and all kinds of stuff out there, but you couldn't see anything that morning.
Oh, that's kind of cool, though. I mean, it's a great, it just keeps your attention right on the boardwalk.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice shot, actually. I really like that. Nice black and white. There's nothing distracting in the background. It's just, there it is. Yeah. That's very cool. That's a nice.
You not got an iPhone X yet, like Joe?
No, I'm waiting. I've only had this one a year, so I'll wait maybe till next year and see what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Did Joe break his one? Or did he just say he broke it? He thought he dropped it.
No, he dropped it. He's dropped it a couple times, but it hasn't broken.
It hasn't broken. No.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he's gotten lucky a couple times, but yeah, my phone is getting. Well, I have an Android, and I'm going on 3 years. I've got to do surgery on it. Actually, it's a Android phone with a supposedly not replaceable battery, but my battery is getting worse and worse and worse. So I bought the battery in the kit. So I'm gonna take it apart and try to replace the battery. Worst that can happen is I brick. Well, I guess I wouldn't really brick my phone. I just couldn't maybe get it back together in the right way. That's the only thing I'm worried about. But the battery was like $15, and I got the little the glue template that fits the back of the phone to reattach it, and that was like $7. So I figured for $20 if it works, I've got a brand new battery. The phone is nice. The phone works fine. It's just the battery life is just it's dropping rather quickly now. It's almost 3 years old. So
it depends if the last person who put the battery in was a robot.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a robot. Yeah, I bought it brand new, so I'm assuming it probably was a robot. So I've got to do surgery on the phone. I got to back up everything first, and then I'll attempt to take it apart. And if I can replace the battery and it works, I'll probably keep the phone for at least another year. If not, then I'll be looking for a new phone.
Yeah, I mean, some things just can't be fixed, Mark. I see a Japanese factory where they were doing printed circuit boards, and they had a vat of molten solder. And they were passing a frequency through it, so it had a wave running.
Okay.
Along the bath, and that soldered all the components on the printed circuit board in one go.
Yep, yeah. They just pass it right over the wave, and it solders it.
Yeah, and I thought unsoldering something and replacing a component just doesn't exist.
Yeah,
that's cool.
We'll just destroy it now.
So that's how they solder everything on one component. They generate the wave, and then it goes across. Okay.
Yeah, it just goes across the bottom of the board, soldering all the connections together.
In line, so the board is going across at the same frequency as the wave.
Yeah, right? So you're not actually holding a soldering iron on any component more than a fraction of a second.
So the peaks and valleys in the wave are enough to run across and get the spots that need to be soldered without melting through the board, basically.
Yeah, because you would just do a processor. If you tried to solder a processor in your computer, you just say goodbye to it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I've tried soldering a few times, and I was probably like 60% failure rate. I've determined that I am not one to be doing that. So I don't think I can take up a new career as a welder either.
Soldering is one thing, but taking the old component out is what. Yeah, desoldering is a real problem.
And the fact is, most of the components are they're not designed to be taken apart. They either work or they don't, and if they don't work, then they just get tossed out or recycled or whatever. There is no taking out individual pieces, parts, and replacing them anymore.
No one repairs anything now. Just put a new board in.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just cheaper to just do a new board than it is to attempt to replace anything. So, So I'm I don't know. That might be I might destroy a camera technically if I can't get my phone back together properly. But I need to do that because my battery life I can just almost literally watch if I'm running any more than like 1 or 2 apps. I can just almost watch the battery go down, which is not good, especially if I'm out and about away from a charger. Yeah, literally I've only got a few hours if I'm using my phone.
The iPhone, you can't change the battery in that either, can you? You have to send it back.
Not easily. Yeah.
But they're offering to replace what for $25? Is that what they're doing with the battery? I
think it's 29 now.
Okay, yeah, that's probably pretty much cost.
Yeah, that's not too bad, is it?
No,
$20.
No, they used to charge $100 for it.
Yeah, it's like if you want a battery for your Sony camera, it's like 60.
Mm-hmm.
Where you can buy 2 Chinese copies, which are actually better batteries for like 12.
Yeah, that's what I found with the Olympus. With the OMD is the Olympus batteries are $45 and they have 2,600 milliamp hours, and you can get the non-OEM one that has 3,000 milliamp hours for $10 a battery. $10 a battery. So 1/4 the price and 20% more capacity.
Yeah, I bought 2 spares with my Sony camera, and they last longer than the one that came with the camera.
Yeah. That's exactly all my digital cameras. I found that the aftermarket ones are less expensive and have a little higher capacity.
Yeah, now you'd think if the camera company like Sony or Nikon or any of these they would want the best battery in their camera. So they can go, oh yeah, you can take 600 pictures without charging it.
Well, they want the highest margin on the. They want the best battery with the highest margin.
Yeah, they sell you a really expensive camera with a crappy battery, and you got to go out and buy new ones immediately.
Yeah. And there's people that will only buy OEM batteries so they can sell more batteries that way.
Oh yeah. No, if they weren't selling them, they wouldn't. If they weren't selling them at that price, they wouldn't be at that price. So obviously, they're selling enough at $60 a battery to make it well worth their while to do it. Yeah. So, all right, guys. Hey, great show. Hopefully, I can get out myself here in the next week or two, and who knows? Maybe by next week, I'll have purchased a lens. I'm gonna get active with the searching again now that I know I have the funds to cover it within the next 30 days. So if I find one.
I meant to ask you, when you use your Chamonix camera, someone sent me a message on when I put the pictures up, and they go, only one knob to control the rise and fall and tilt. How do you cope with that? Do you find any problem?
What do you mean, just doing one knob?
Yeah, like the front standard slides up and down. But it's the same knobs that do the front tilt.
Yeah.
And rise. Do you have any problems with?
No, I've gotten used to because there's you're right. You got the knob on each side of the frame that you can go up or down and then tilt front and back. And I've just gotten used to not loosening both completely. I'll loosen like the left one will just barely be loosened, and then I'll loosen the right one more, and then I can use I keep my like my left thumb and forefinger on the frame to kind of keep it as a guide, and then I can just tweak it.
I didn't find any problem with it. Like you say, you only loosen it enough so that it doesn't drop down the slot.
Exactly. Yeah, it's still loosen it just enough so there's still some tension. So if you took your hand away, it's not going to do anything, but you can still move it, and then you only have to tighten one of the knobs, an 1/8 of a turn.
I think a lot of the field cameras have got two settings, one for the tilt and lift, rise and fall. No. So I just said to him, I don't find it a problem.
Yeah, you have to get. I mean, it's just a different way. You just have to get used to it, I guess.
Yeah, but I said to him, but on the plus side, this camera is so light for a 4x5.
Yeah, and that's how they save weight is by just using one knob. And I think you just have to get in the in a pattern of what you do first. And for me, I always, if I'm doing rise or fall, I set that first, and then I'll do tilt. So I don't I don't mix it up. That's the, you could do it the other way, but I figure I'm going to adjust rise and fall first, and then I'll tilt because focus is the last thing you do before you take the picture. So I do the tilt because that's essentially focusing. So I do the rise and fall first, or the swing, the rise and fall, and then the front and back tilt as the last thing.
Have you done any back tilt yet on the camera?
No, I have not. I have not tried any back tilt.
Because the back tilt is where you can enlarge the
foreground.
The foreground, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on the background and tilt to the near. Focus on the far, tilt to the near. It's the opposite way around to the front.
Yeah, it's the opposite from the front. Yeah, and I it's just too confusing for me at this point. I have to. I've got the front. Moving the front feels pretty.
Yeah.
Almost intuitive now at this point. I feel pretty confident about knowing what I'm going to do. So now once I get that, then I can start playing around with the back a little bit.
I found when I first started playing with it that I was tilting the front, and it wasn't necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Because it tilts and swings, you feel like you have to use it.
Yeah, it goes all these directions. I got to use them. Yeah.
You don't really need to on landscape. It's just to bring things in the background.
Yeah, I mean, if your composition has the object that you want is more than a little ways away, you don't really need to tilt.
Yeah, I find that the rise and fall is excellent, and the sides.
Mm-hmm. The swing, the swing. Yeah, that's right.
That really does bring things in. Like you say, if you're doing architecture, like buildings,
mm-hmm.
you wouldn't get that narrowing railway effect with the building. You can keep it absolutely square.
Yeah, and that's going to be the place to really practice all that, is start doing some architecture, which I haven't done. So I want to get go into town and find some buildings or a bridge or something like that, and be able to do a few test shots or whatever. Just a few.
It'd be nice to do a building where it's not leaning backwards.
Mm-hmm.
When you take the picture and you see the building like coming in all the way up to the top and leaning backwards.
And it's leaning back into the scene. Yeah.
So it's great to just leave the camera where it is and rise the standard.
Mm-hmm.
Everything come in. It's brilliant.
Yeah. So I need to get out and do that. One of the members of the studio I belong to has expressed an interest in doing that. So maybe we can try to set a time here, to go out and just, spend like a weekend morning before the streets get a lot of people on them. Just kind of go out first thing in the morning and spend a couple hours in an area with some different subjects.
Yeah, I noticed that some of the 35mm lens manufacturers are now bringing tilt lenses.
Oh, okay.
Cameras, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually buy a stiff shield lens
for a 35mm
digital camera.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense, but you don't need to worry about that with a large format. You don't need to buy a special lens because the camera has all the stuff built into it. So
and you can use the same lenses on any maker camera, which is brilliant.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So that is kind of my next thing, is to play around with more perspective control.
Yeah,
which you don't have to do that a lot in landscapes, but if you're doing architecture or close-up buildings and that type of thing, it makes it.
Wes will be out this week looking for a shift tilt now for his digital.
So he can use that last frame, right?
Use the last frame up on the film camera,
which I'm sure you haven't used, right? Unless you still
no.
But I am going to a camera show next Sunday, so.
Right.
Oh, okay.
You never know.
Yeah, well, who knows? You might find a tilt shift lens for your is it a Brownie? Is that that one you have with the one frame in it? What is it?
It's just it's not even a Brownie. It's just a folding codec.
Okay.
They call it a 620.
Okay. Yeah.
620.
Well, maybe you can take that camera and use that last frame to photograph the tilt shift lens that you're going to buy for
your
other.
Yeah.
All right. Hey,
tilt shift 600mm.
Yeah, that's what that would be a little
easy to use.
Expensive. Yeah. That would be quite a challenge, both to the pocketbook and to the skills of the photographer, I would say. So, all right, guys. Hey, great show. Appreciate it. As always, Dennis, thanks for staying up, and Wes, thanks for joining in. And next week, so maybe we'll have a new camera for to talk about next week, Wes. I'm sure you probably will have.
I probably won't be on because it's in Orlando, so
okay.
Won't be on until late. So
okay,
2 weeks
right.
probably I'll be back.
Okay, sounds good. All right, well, enjoy.
Yep.
And Dennis, we'll see you later.
Yep, see you.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Good night.